I hail from a very remote village in a beautiful place called Wayanad in Kerala. We had no electricity in my village, we had no roads in my village, and schools were miles away. I had to walk miles to school, and the government's midday meal scheme was the biggest motivation factor for me to go to school. Three-time meal was a distant dream during our childhood days, and sort of breakfast was a luxury. I am Mustafa PC, CEO and co-founder of ID. We make world's best breakfast idlis, and we touch the life of million people every day with a healthy food. My dad used to work in farms on a daily wages worker. I used to work with him on weekends, and it came a time that I failed in my class 6th, so I had to I dropped out of school. I took up a full-time coolie job along with my dad, and that's when my maths teacher, Mr. Matthew sir, tried to bring me back to school. I went back to school with his motivation, and he started supporting me to become a better child. And Matthew sir asked me very very interesting question: do you want to be a coolie like your dad, or do you want to be a teacher like me? And then in the span of 2 years, I became a school topper, and then it was sort of a smooth journey for me after that. I then ended up doing my engineering and computer science from NIT Calicut. That was by chance. I had not even heard of NIT till that time. A friend of mine, while applying for his admission, he applied on my behalf as well, and that's how I reached NIT Calicut. I had a good entrance exam score. The state level, I think my rank was 63. So that helped me to get into NIT Calicut. I did my engineering and computer science. During our final year, there was this very young, smart company from Bangalore who had come down to our campus for a campus placement. And I could not crack their aptitude test. I actually wanted to get into that company. I could not crack the aptitude test. I think last week I was invited in the same company as a motivation speaker, and without an entrance test. I was studying in Malayalam medium, and NIT people speak English. I was not able to follow. It was a difficult time for my initial days. I think it took me almost like 6 months, and some of my friends helped me to translate it into English. And then I think after first semester, then I started understanding English. Another thing that really I can think of during my college days is during college, you need to present a seminar. That was the first time I went to the stage, and I could not speak even a single word of English. I cried and came out. But then teachers were kind enough to give me a passing mark, and I cleared. So those difficult times and difficult situations helped me to stay more committed. I started my first job with Manhattan Associates. When I got my campus offer, I think they offered me around 14,000 rupees per month. And I told my dad about it, and he thought there is some mistake. It could be 14,000 rupees per year, because he could not imagine that kind of money, because the money that we're talking about, 40,000 rupees per month, is actually more than his lifetime savings. So when I got my salary, first month's salary, I kept it in a bag, and took it to my dad. He cried seeing the money, because he had never seen that kind of money in his lifetime at one shot, right? And when I got my job in Citibank, I think my first month's salary was around 1.2 lakhs. I sent that complete money to him, and that money was good enough for him to clear all his debts. I then moved to Motorola immediately. I worked with Motorola for a while. Then they transferred me to Motorola Ireland. That's how I reached Ireland. I got a good offer from Citibank in Middle East, Riyadh. It was called Samba, Saudi American Bangalore is called. That really helped me to, clear my debts and make some savings as well. I managed to build a home for my parents and also arranged a wedding for my sisters. Then I also got married. That after marriage, I was transferred to Dubai office. So I was in Dubai office for a while, but that time I was sort of feeling restless. I was feeling restless because I was getting bored with my IT life. I had a cushy job, so it was not easy to give it up. But then the real issue for me was, it was like 9 to 5 job, and I felt I should do something beyond. So I decided to come back to India with mainly 3 objectives. So I want to pursue my higher studies. Second, I want to spend more time with my parents. And third, I wanted to see what is that I can do, what is that I can give back to society. I landed in Bangalore, Intel Bangalore. I managed to get admission in IIM Bangalore. It took me almost 1 year of practice to get that admission. That was not that difficult, to be frank. And I started spending more time with my parents. On weekends, I used to travel to Kerala, or they used to come and stay with me. But then, what is there something that I can do to give back to society? That's how, I started discussion with my cousins. My cousins were running a small-time kirana store in a place called Tipasandra in Bangalore, very close to this office. A lot of ideas came in. So one of them suggested starting a supermarket, and that was something not very interesting to us, or to me at least. And one day, one of the cousin mentioned about this batter supplier who was supplying batter in a plain pouch with a rubber band on the top. And this batter had all sort of quality issues, regular quality complaints and service complaints. He was supplying twice a week, and sometimes it also had hygiene issues. My cousins tried to fix the issue with the vendor multiple times. It was a small time vendor, he couldn't fix it. My cousin suggested, why don't we try to create our own batter? And that was the aha moment. We thought of trying it ourselves. We started in a very small kitchen, around, I think, less than 100 square feet kitchen is what we started. Invested around 50,000 rupees. We had a grinder and a sealing machine, a small weighing scale, and a second-hand TVS scooty. We thought we'll try it, and if it doesn't work out, we'll just stop it. So we started with 100 packets a day, selling to the market, and we thought we will be able to sell 100 packets average per day in a span of 6 months in 20 stores. It took us almost 9 months to sell 100 packets a day. IIM helped me on 3 aspects. One, it made me a strategic thinker. Second, it gave me courage to quit my job. Third, I think the brand IIM helped us initial days to get a break with all this modern trade stores. When there was a news in the media that there's this IIM guy selling idli on the street. So I think those kind of things helped us to get entry into stores like Reliance and to Aditya Birla stores. Initially, I started investing small money, and my cousins used to run the show for the initial 3 years, and they took the company to one level, and that's when and the company was profitable, and that's when I talked to them as well, and we felt if I come on board, I should be able to take it to the next level. And I took up this decision of quitting job and moving full time into ID once ID was a bit stable. There are 2 kinds of people in the world. There are people who cannot afford to eat a breakfast. I was one among them during my childhood days. And then there are people like you and me who do not have time to eat breakfast these days. So we were trying to solve the second problem. We were not equipped to solve the first problem. So we thought we will solve the second problem. And that's when we decided to get this business. And so we had a very strong determination that we want to solve it. And that determination and focus helped us to ignore what the world says about it and stay committed to what the problem that we want to solve. I think one person who gave me courage to quit my job was my cousin Nazar. He said, "What is? This is where we come from, right? And we know, even if you have to shut down the whole thing, we know where will we go back, right?" My family was supportive. Overall, it was, Again, I think even for them, they couldn't understand what we're talking about at that time, and until we proved it. I think it took us almost like 1 year for us to take them to confidence. So, Dr. D.V.S. Sheshadri, who is a professor at IIM Bangalore, was always helping us to take the right decisions. So, even today, to some great extent, right? When we are in a difficult situation, we go to him and get his views. So when I moved into ID, within 1.5 years, I think ID became a household brand in Bangalore. So there was this age-old company from Bangalore who had approached me to take over ID. They had put on a very fancy number, which I could not even imagine in my lifetime, to buy ID. We were tempted, so I went to him, and he asked us a couple of questions, right, to take the right decisions. Those discussions, we had dinner with him. Me and Nazarka went to him, had dinner with him, and those kind of right questions from him helped us to take the right decisions. It was a journey of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. Classical example of a bomb blast in a nearby place. We had started ID in 2005, November, December time. 2006 April, we got a call from a store called Appana Supermarket in Bangalore, very nearby to this place. He said, "There's a bomb blast in my store, come running." We laughed. "Why are you calling me for bomb blast? You must be calling the cops, the police station next to you. We don't deal with bombs." He said, "No, there's a bomb in your batter." We again laughed. Bomb in the batter? How is that possible? Anyway, my cousin Shamsu and our first salesman Shafi rushed to the store. This was store manager who was very angry at them, was ready to hit them, said, "Go clean the fridge first and take back whatever leftover stock and go home." So my cousin Shamsu politely, managed to get a cloth piece, went ahead and cleaned the fridge first. And while he was cleaning the fridge, Shafi took a pack of leftover batter and went to the store manager. And store manager was sitting in a cash counter with a monitor in front of him. Very small time store. So Shafi was holding a pack of idli batter in his right hand and was trying to explain to him the quality of the batter, right? Shafi told him, "So this is a great product, the great packaging. I use it regularly. We have been doing blah 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 of them, right? Nothing happens." Before Shafi could complete, boom! This batter bag exploded. It exploded like a bomb blast. White batter on his face and on the monitor. I now leave it to imagination on what situation would have happened in the store after that. Why did it happen? During summer, batter ferments. It forms gas, and the pack bulges, expands. Beyond a point, it explodes. It explodes like a bomb blast. We learned about the term called fermentation after this incident. We had no idea. That's why we built the business. In 2010-11 time, we became super confident about our brand. It was selling like hot cake in Bangalore, and we thought Chennai is the mecca of idli, right? So we thought, let's go attack Chennai. We went to Chennai. We developed the best batter for Chennai. launched it, and then we learned people are not buying it. People are not buying it because of two reasons. One, there were a lot of local batters available at rupees 10 a kg, and mine was 50 rupees a kg. And second thing, as per them, my idli is not soft. That was very important learning for us. Lot of local players was buying subsidized public distribution system rice, adding soda in it and making batter and selling at rupees 10 a kg. Rice was available for them at rupees 1 a kg from public distribution system. We couldn't compete with them. We started making losses. We struggled to pay salary to employees. This was in 2010-11 time. Going was getting tougher every day. Some of the employees started complaining because salary delays, and almost 3 months we had salary delays. We were not able to pay salary to employees. So we had 3 options in front of us at that time. Option 1 was to follow local practices, which is buy public distribution system rice, add soda in it and make fluffy batter. We don't want to follow this unhealthy, unethical business practices. Second option was to borrow money from the bank. Banks were willing to fund. Second option was to borrow money from the bank and sustain the business and pay salary to employees. We don't want to follow the interest route because it was against my ideology. My third option was to shut down the Chennai plant. So we took the third route. We decided to shut down Chennai plant, sell the machinery, assets, everything, and generate some money, and we came back to Bangalore and paid salary to our employees. So those kind of tough decisions we had to take in our life. During my MBA time, Professor D.V.S. Sheshadri was teaching an elective subject called RAIL, Reinventing Entrepreneurial Leadership. In that, I came across a reflection paper. The reflection paper had some very, tough questions about who are you, what is the purpose of your life, what will make you happy in your deathbed. Those kind of questions, I tried to answer it from my heart. And I think that's the only subject I scored a 4 out of 4. And my prof actually read my answers in the class. I think that gave me, writing down answers for those important questions, gave me clarity on the purpose of my life. And that gave me courage to quit the job. So we started ID with one objective. One of the objectives was to create employment for smart kids from village. But if I look back, I think we are doing, even though we had not planned it initially, but we are achieving something more than that, which is today we are touching the life of 1 million people with a healthy food every day. I think I am born to achieve that.